See, a lot of information has been coming out about Mr. Beast and everybody and related to him. If this tidbit of information is true, this changes not only Mr. Beast's career, but a bunch of other large corporations' career in totality. So, to those who aren't essentially in the loop, this all started with the Chris Tyson allegations or the Ava Chris allegations, where she had sexual relations and sexual talks with a bunch of different minors, whatever. Everybody knows this story, right? It then led over to Jimmy, which is Mr. Beast, apparently hiring sex offenders on his payroll, one going by the name of Delaware. Essentially, that he was charged and prosecuted in the state of Delaware, and the joke was that he was going to be called Delaware so that nobody knew his actual name and would figure out he was somebody who was actually diddling a 13-year-old or 12-year-old, I believe, right? Now, the issue with that comes a lot more that his brother, which was so-called the Viking on Mr. Beast's channel, also knew exactly what was going on. There's a lot related into this, but this isn't the main objective of today. It's just kind of getting you up to speed in case you don't know. Yeah, there's a lot regarding to this, but it gets only worse. All of the let's preemptive this. I don't give a shit. That I'm not no fucking judicial person that what I say is rock and stone or like I have to be 100% truthful, but I'm just putting this out there because apparently this is something everybody's making clear, is that everything I'm about to say is alleged. Given the certain lens of a certain couple things, I would like to say barely any of it is alleged and a lot of it would be true, but that's just me saying this. So for starters, Chris Tyson's partner leaked a lot of shit just a couple hours ago, and I mean a lot of shit, specifically their moderator for their partner's Discord or something along those lines. It's a weird this person to this person, but a lot of this information is being called credible by other sources and anonymous sources. It's hard to really pinpoint exactly what's going on, but I can read you out this what I have here. Chris Tyson's partner leaked responses to drama has surfaced online allegedly. These messages were allegedly sent to Discord mods and then leaked online via an anonymous account. Chris Tyson's alleged SA victim, Jess, has also responded to these leaks, indicating that these leaked DMs are real and suggesting that Chris Tyson's partner, Erit, could only have access to them. So Erit themselves possibly could now be pushing out information to the public that was not accessible prior. Now let's just go down this list of what's supposedly been leaked through these DMs, and I'll try to put in all the photos of the DMs that I find, but there is a lot. Like, this is what I have so far. Now, regarding the actual claims, Mr. Beast is afraid of inflaming a situation that could anger their corporate investors, allegedly. I don't think that's really a thing you could label allegedly on. That's just pretty that seems pretty plausible. You wouldn't want to lose your investors. In this case, you don't want to lose the possibility of them, supporting you because you're such in hot water, whether you're guilty or not. Going on from that, we have the second claim, which is Ava Chris Tyson is disgusted by the person she used to be, allegedly, which I'm not exactly sure if she's referring it to when they were a dude or what they used to do, meaning they used to talk to minors, which is why this next claim gets a little weird. It says Ava Chris Tyson did not know Lava GS was a minor, allegedly. So I don't know if the second claim is saying they were disgusted that they used to, talk to minors, and I don't really know. I don't know. Now we have the fourth one, which is bullshit to me. Ava wishes that she had never engaged with Shadman, allegedly, which I call bullshit. You're only regretting it because you got caught. You bought fucking art from them. That's not, oh, I wish I never did it, or like, I just never wish I. No, that's, you bought art. You commissioned art. You only regret it because you got caught. Fifth one. Ava denied advances made by the alleged SA victim, allegedly. I don't know. I'm sorry. It's fucking, there's too many moving parts in all this for you to be, you just denied advances, but in every other case, you talked weirdly with minors in group chats and all that, weird photos, weird comments. So I'm sorry that there's too much like pressure on this valve for you to just close it off, if that makes any sense. Sixth claim. There's an HR investigation into the SA allegations, but Mr. Beast doesn't allegedly want anyone to say anything publicly in case it causes things to flare up more online. Again, not an insanely wild claim. It's a plausible claim, absolutely. I think that's just more of a logical thing. Mr. Beast's team is preventing Ava from allegedly talking. Any response from Ava would flare up stuff again. I guess also makes kind of sense. You don't want the person who kind of got you in this snowball effect to make any public statements. Like I've mentioned, that's a lot of these are plausible. They're not like, oh, alleged. This just makes sense. This seems like something that would go forward in this kind of case, and somebody trying to protect their image. Now here's the 8th claim. Ava's first apology tweet was allegedly entirely written by the MrBeast exec under insane pressure of Amazon and other corporate investors. So here's the thing. The quote starts at entirely written by MrBeast, so on, to corporate investors. So from there on, that means that is one of the DMs that were found. My thing is, right, this is big, meaning not only did MrBeast and his team want this or have the apology tweet written for Ava to post on Twitter, corporate execs, corporate entities, Amazon being one of them, were putting pressure on this situation knowing what could come. And the reason I say that is because they don't only mention Amazon, they mention other corporate investors. And there's a couple of companies out there that do have their hands in MrBeast's organization. Amazon being one of the larger ones. And if I am correct, okay, hold on. I'm going to do a little bit of diving. Now, I couldn't really find much on other companies being attached to it. I did find out an interesting thing that not only Amazon is one of the companies that is attached to MrBeast in terms of portfolio and also investments on him, not vice versa. MGM Studios is also a related corporate entity, which I wouldn't necessarily understand why, but maybe in terms of recording equipment and such, but who knows? I mean, this will most definitely update. This is just a lot of stuff that is being alleged right now that it can't be confirmed and can't be 100% identified, but I feel like that claim can absolutely have the ability to rock shit. Like this single factoid right here, that Amazon let alone, is insane. There are so many other factors that come into that if Amazon is related to this. Now, do I think anything will come of this if MrBeast and the rest of the crew are prosecuted for any of this? Absolutely not. Amazon's not going anywhere. You're not getting rid of it. You hit on the wrist with a fucking fine and they keep going. But I think it's crazy that Amazon is related into this because, Jesus fucking Christ, they're one of the biggest companies in the world and they're putting pressure on MrBeast and his team to silence these people that are related to him that were on his payroll to make sure nothing happens to them. This goes deep. Going on to the 9th claim, MrBeast and the Beast CEO had alleged tears in their eyes after Ava's tweet was posted and allegedly later regretted it. Meaning that, I mean, to be honest, I could believe it, because who the fuck, that tweet was so fucking, the best way I could describe it was fucking corporate generated. It was so, like, speaking in legal terms, it felt like they were talking to make sure they could cover their ass in any case that they wouldn't have to worry about, because it's like, okay, yeah, it's my fault, I did that, there's nothing else related, I'm gonna step away from Jimmy. Specifically, the thing that bothered me about that tweet was that I will be stepping away from anything MrBeast related almost made it seem like MrBeast was typing it, because it's like, hey, yeah, it's my fault, I'm sorry, I'm not proud of anything I did, I'm staying the fuck away from Jimmy, you know? That seems weird. Whatever, I'm speculating. Proper third-party investigations are being done into everything that has been brought up against Ava, and the 11th being the corporate investors currently do not want Ava to have any social media presence for a number of years. This shit goes, oh my God, there is so, like, this is such a large encumbering deal, and I usually don't cover shit like this because I really don't want to get my nose into this shit, but my thing is that it gets so much larger when entities like Amazon are involved. This now turns into something that can go fucking nationwide. It already is a worldwide thing, but I mean the sense of where people can be prosecuted to such, this can lead to so many fucking, like, breaks in this. This year has been full of a lot of shit in regarding to absolute scandals in terms of pedophilia and such, but I feel like this year has just been on a whole nother level. And I'm gonna be honest, there's so many documents here, there's so many screenshots here. I suggest going to this. I'm gonna link where I found this and where I'm getting majority of this from. I suggest going to it. I'm gonna put it down below. There is a lot of stuff on this thread that I found on Twitter that is regarded to this, and I've been looking into where all this shit is fucking coming through. Some people are verifying that this is legitimate, real DMs. Like I've been saying, I'm just not appalled, but I'm just like, it's really eye-opening to see how far this goes. This isn't just like, here's my thing. I said this with my wife earlier, saying that if this was just Mr. Beast alone, that he wasn't the corporate entity that he is as a YouTuber, it would just be, yeah, he touches kids, now his life is ruined kind of deal. But no, 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 no. This wasn't even that Mr. Beast touches kids. It was that Ava Chris Tyson touches kids, and they're related to Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast had people on payroll, multiple of which who were sex offenders, multiple of which who were supposed to be silenced by Mr. Beast and co. by pressure via massive investors such as Amazon, Feastables, MGM Studios for some reason, and a couple other names. This shit runs deep. It isn't the case where it's one person. It is an entire fucking network. It is an entire fucking corporation. It's an entire fucking industry at risk here. This isn't just one. This isn't just two. This is hundreds of people in high positions of power in terms of corporations involved in this. And I think that's something that needs to be absolutely outlined here. That this isn't just some, oh, somebody's a pedophile kind of deal. Fuck them, ruin their lives and move on. No, this is big. This is like big. And maybe I'm going in circles here, but I cannot stress the fact that Amazon and other big corporations are involved in a cover up with Mr. Beast on everybody who's been a pedophile on his payroll is huge. This isn't just regarding Ava Chris Tyson too. I hope you understand that if they're wanting to silence Ava Chris Tyson just because of what happened and that they were one of the more publicized members that were pedophiles, what about Delaware? What about the fucking Jake the Viking? What about all of them? Jake the Viking knew his brother was it his brother? I believe so. Jake the Viking knew his brother was a pedophile. He even was tweeting about it. How Jimmy knew. Fucking Jimmy knew that Delaware, which was the pedophile, let me get the name actually. He knew Jimmy Donaldson was a pedophile. He knew he had a past, yet he still hired him, in which Mr. Beast's videos are directed towards kids. How are you gonna have two pedophiles on your payroll and know about both of them? And that's just what we know so far. That's not regarded anybody else behind the scenes. That's also not even talking about how Mr. Beast made videos that were never released, that broke Geneva Convention rules, how he kept someone awake for fucking hours on end because the fluorescent white lights were preventing him from sleeping, and at his request did not fucking turn him off. There is so much shit that goes far into this that I just don't think like a majority of us understand at this point. Like, I dipping my toes into Mr. Beast thing, it feels like an infinite pool that if you go into it, you're gonna fall far and you're not gonna get out of it because this goes deep. He's not a regular YouTuber that has regular connections to just individuals. He is somebody that has connections to some of the largest companies in the fucking world, just because of the kind of content he does. He's oriented himself as somebody who is a child-friendly and family-friendly YouTuber that now can open himself to business propositions. And because of that, corporations will absolutely put money in his hand so that they can get themselves into a position where he is. Because the closer you can get to a younger audience, the easier it is for you to advertise to everybody else. Which is why this runs fucking deep. Now, I would love to do a docu-series video on this. However, it would take me weeks. Maybe I'll do it. If this is a continuing thing to follow and chase, I probably would do it. Because this is something that goes far further than I can understand even right now. And far further than most of us understand. There are so many names that are tied up in this. It's kind of worrisome. Look, in the end, this all starts because people can't stop touching kids. I think the moral of the story is stop touching kids, and we won't run into industry-wide scandals of cover-ups regarding multiple different pedophiles and multiple different sex offenders, multiple different payrolls. But what do I know? I just do YouTube, Deuces.